What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. And first off, before we get into this video, I just want to say I haven't seen this much attention and positivity for a long time for Rust Console. I'll just put a screenshot right now of the kind of video views that I've been getting, and this isn't me flexing numbers. This is me saying, look how many people are starting to watch the game or have taken notice in the game since the next generation announcement that we'll be getting that is targeted in 2025. And I just want to say it's awesome that we're in this position where there's a lot more positivity surrounding the game, a lot more positivity, I believe, for the devs as well. They probably feel as if they've had handcuffs taken off of them, and now they can have free reign over on a better sort of engine, and that being the next gen. And I just want to say, let's get rid of the next gen. It's current gen, for God's sake. They've been out for nearly half a decade now, about 5 years. So the current gen game coming for Rust Console, the current gen version, and I bet the devs are having a really fun time just making everything look better, and I've got a lot to say about it. So we're going to go into the graphics and we're going to go into the roadmap. There's a lot to kind of cover in this video, so sit tight and let's get straight into it. So first and foremost, the roadmap. Now, a lot of people were going by the gospel on this roadmap. I said multiple times in the video, take it with a grain of salt. This is not confirmed, so neither have your expectations set to this standard. But you know, some things within this list could happen because of how relevant it is towards starting up a new game, and that being the current gen version or the next gen version for Rust Console. After I dropped my last video talking about the roadmap leak, and I'll obviously talk about some research that I did that will, agree with this statement that I'm about to share with you, Pedro had contacted me surrounding this, and this is what he had to say. He said, I've been keeping up with your videos and it's awesome to see how pumped you are about the new version. The positive energy is really nice as well. For a change, it feels as if, we've been negative for quite a while. But again, we didn't really have that much in terms of communication, and now we're getting a lot of communication. You see a different side to me and my content. Again, I'm only just saying what I think, and obviously going forward I'll be a bit more precious with how I share that, because I know there's quite a lot of people watching these videos. Pedro goes on to say, as for the supposed leak, just wanted to let you know it's not real. So it's probably best to let people know before some unrealistic expectations are created. We will continue to port features from the PC version of the game, which is no secret to anyone. The leak post appears to be a collection of random features / content that have been thrown together, which are not yet part of the RustConsoleEdition. While more features are on the way, the list in question seems completely random. Now, obviously, there's a couple of things within that list that hold up, because it mentioned about the fluidity in the water, and obviously that's something that's just gonna come with the graphics for next gen for Rust Console. However, I did do some digging, and I'll put the screenshot I got from researching about this. So I basically asked, what engine is Rust PC on? Unity Engine 6. Now, Unity Engine 6 was the one that was posted within this roadmap list that we had in my prior video. I'll put it up just for clarification on this as well. And this is the sort of answer I had received surrounding the engine, or Unity Engine 6. So Rust on PC on the Unity engine, but not Unity Engine 6. The game has been built and continuously updated using various versions of Unity 2018 and later versions. Currently, Facepunch Studio is working on upgrading Rust to Unity 2022, which will bring a better performance and graphical improvements. But if you're asking about the Unity Engine 6, there is no official Unity version with that naming. Unity versions are typically numbered by year, e.g. 2018, 2K20, 2K20, 22. So obviously, if that's hold up and that's true, then we could pretty much write off that roadmap or the features that we had gotten. Of course, some will come, because naturally the game's going to evolve and those updates will come into the game. However, if this is something you've seen on that came up on the Xbox Marketplace, I don't know how you could get that wrong in terms of the engine for the game if it was an official thing, which it clearly isn't. So rest assured, don't have your expectations set high. We know nothing of what's coming at the moment. though what I can confirm is that Unity Engine 6 doesn't actually exist. So let's take a look at the main topic of today's video. It is the graphic comparisons. Again, I said this in my other videos, this is something that Double 11 should be doing, and I'm so glad that they are doing this, and it's paying off. There's a lot of traction, a lot of communication within the community, and a lot of hype surrounding this game at this moment in time. Now, before I go into the graphics, a lot of people had said that they actually prefer old gen graphics and they're going to miss them. Whilst I totally disagree with the fact that they look better than the new gen graphics, I think there's going to be a lot of nostalgia that's going to be attached to the old graphics. So when we look back on this, we'll think, oh, the graphics were so good. They weren't. A lot of people were moaning about them. They were dog shit, and you know, I'm very pleased that we're going to be getting the new ones, though I can appreciate the memories attached to the old gen graphics. So we're going to be looking into them. So old gen and new gen. Double 11 have got side-by-side comparisons of a tugboat in this first image, and just look at it, it's absolutely night and day. You have the water textures, that's something out of Sea of Thieves. Look at the shadows and the render fidelity in the distance. It looks absolutely gorgeous, very sharp, very refined. And if you look on the left of old gen, it's just meh. And I'm also aware there's a lot of people that are saying, well, it's not actually going to look like that in game. And you could have a point. Obviously, there's going to be in-game screenshots that are going to be filtered with color corrections and stuff, which this may well could actually be that. Because obviously it's in the morning, they might have had a color correction, I do not know. But games are known to kind of buff the graphics up a bit in screenshots and pre-gameplay before the game actually gets out to the public. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was one of those screenshots. Also as well, a lot of people are saying that the graphics are better than PC. Let me just stress this to you right now before I go any further. The graphics for Rust Console will never be as good as a beast PC. If you're dropping 2 to like 10 grand on a PC, you are going to get the best, most refined, most crisp graphics that Rust Console players can only dream of. Let me just stress that. We're not going to be getting anywhere close to being better graphically than PC. So now we've got that out of the way, let's move on. What's also cool is one of the comments I made on the Twitter posts, this is where I'm sourcing all these images from. I said that it would really be cool to see a character model. And here we have today that's dropped, the 20th of March. We have an old gen versus new gen hazmat with a Tommy. And my god, again, night and day. Look at the textures, look at the bushes, look at the top right bush. Look at that, right, new gen, and now we're on old gen. Just look at that, it's even worse than Roblox. Also something to point out, you can obviously see the IP on the bottom left. Just to suggest that they're in a server in-game. This could be actually what it looks like in-game, and they're just looking from a third-person perspective. But just look how good the graphics are. This, you just wouldn't have thought, going from where we were in January, where we had very little communication with Double 11, to then a complete 180. Them talking to the community more, Pedro getting in contact more about what, you know, should and shouldn't go out in terms of information, what is fake and what isn't. And this is what we've been asking for, and thank God I've been waiting this long for these sorts of moments, because it really is something to be, I guess, excited about for the game. We're very much in the present time of a huge amount of hype. A lot of eyes are on this game now, so drink it in and appreciate the times we're in and the excitement for the game that's going to be up and coming. Now obviously we haven't been getting many Q&As, and that's been taken or replaced by the graphic comparisons. I wouldn't mind if that actually switched from week to week as to what's happening. But a lot of people are also debating and theorizing, rightly so. There's quite a lot that's coming out in terms of what it actually looks like in game. So how far along is this actual game? So if we just reverse back time as to where they had said there's going to be monthly updates, and this was a little mini roadmap where we had drones, where we had the quality of life updates, and that's when communication had died down. That, I believe, probably August, September time is when they started working on this. So they've been working on it for a good 4 to 5 months. And a lot of you have been asking, when do I think it's actually going to come out? Now, in my opinion, I think there's going to be a beta for this. There's nothing that confirms this. This is just my opinion, and it would sort of make sense because Double 11 have already had a beta, a closed beta for the game before it launched back in 2021. It would only go and make sense for them to release it in 2025. Something to also point out is that they did make a post at the start of March saying we are on the lookout for RCE content creators, drop your favorites below. Now, I'd like to think I'd love to be one of these people that would be able to test this beta. If I was to put forward the arguments for and against as to why, I would love to be a part of this. I've been someone that's been playing this game since the first beta back in 2021. I've been making content since 2021 for this game. So I've seen the whole evolution of this game from 2021 to 2025. I've been creating content. I've been very much established in the content creator space, and you know, you get the negatives and positives with me in terms of talking about the game. And I would like to say I'm pretty transparent in what I say, and if I say something wrong, I'll hold my hands up and say I've said something wrong. I've been very much a huge fan of playing the game, and I'm also a huge fan in covering it. So I really have a good balance of the game itself and where it's been and how much better it's getting with this next gen upgrade. So I'd love to be a part of it if this was to come true. And also credit to Fluxified RCE. He's obviously a new content creator in the space for RustConsole, covering the same sort of things as myself and other creators are doing. He made up that point about the beta could be in the works and the content creators could be chosen for it as to why they made that post in the first place. So for the next sort of questions that we want to ask Double 11, there's a lot. But there's some specific ones that I had in mind that I think the community would also want to know as well. So I'm just going to put them out here real quick. Number one, is there a cost? If so, how much? And could Ultimate Edition owners get it for free? The cost is probably the thing that everyone's thinking at this point in time, aside from when it's actually going to come out. You know, the cost is very much important, and again, I've said as well that Double 11 have probably given this a bit of time to see how people react, so they can have a good and fair price point for them to obviously earn money, earn a profit, put it back into the game, and for also consumers to be like, that's enough for me to buy the game. And again, they are promoting it. Probably should promote it more in the future towards when the game could come out, but they're promoting it at very much at a steady and good rate for people to get convinced to buy this game. Number two, there's specifics on performance upgrades such as FPS, graphical quality at 1080p, etc. It'd be really nice to know the huge bump in how good this game will run as compared to when it's optimized for old gen. 3, graphical sliders. PvPers prefer less graphics, better performance, and vice versa. You know, there's a lot of people that were like, what are you on about? Shut up. And I was like, okay, fair enough. It's something I wanted to see or know about, at least if it's even possible to have graphical sliders, just to, you know, turn it down so you can have better performance in the game with better FPS, with less graphics. Or if you like graphics, then turn up the graphics, but will the performance be hindered by that? We don't know. That's sort of what I wanted to find out. Number 4, will there be a beta for this? Now, going on to the beta, a lot of people have asked me when is this coming out, and I've said I wouldn't be surprised with the rate that they are showing us in-game, you know, from the teaser trailer to the screenshots. They're not making a new game. You know, they are porting this from PC. So this could happen very, very fast. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was going to be a beta. I wouldn't be surprised if we were to see the beta in May. And then from May time, it'd probably take a month or two. So around August, I see this game. And the reason being is that they need to rush. Not as in like rush the game in the development, but they obviously have new games that have come out, such as Deadside. A lot of people are loving that game. But also more importantly, GTA 6. And I think every game is surrounding their release dates around this game because everyone's going to be playing it. So the faster this comes out, but also the better it is in terms of being a refined game, everyone's going to be happy. So that's sort of my take on it. So yeah, hopefully Double 11 keep this coming with the Q&As and with the comparisons with old gen and new gen of the graphics. It'd be really cool to see. One thing I did say in one of the comments on Twitter is I would love to see a skin, vice versa, because they said they would look more crisp. So I want to see a skin shown off. You know, I don't care what skin it is. I just want to see one that's on new gen as opposed to old gen, how much better they actually look, which will then prompt people to buy the skins. And obviously that makes Double 11 have money, and it obviously makes the consumer happy that they've got a really good product in game, and everyone's happy. And that's sort of the feeling that RustConsole has at the moment. There's a lot of buzz surrounding this game. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new around here. And if there's any information that I did forget or didn't put into this video, be sure to leave a comment down below. And let's have a conversation as always. Thank you so much for the recent support. I cannot tell you how much it means to me. From making content for so many weeks and months that was very dry to now been flooded with content to make and oozing positivity. You know, it's been a real treat to cover this for you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and as always,